Hello, fellow food lovers. Today I will be making Chinese eggplant stir fry with fermented shrimp paste and garlic. You will need 3 medium Chinese eggplant, 1 tablespoon of garlic minced, 1 tablespoon of fermented shrimp paste, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of chicken powder, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Okay, so I've got some garlic here. I'm going to smash it with the side of the knife and then I want to mince it. Okay, so I got a really long eggplant here. This recipe calls for 3 medium-sized eggplants, but because I got some really long ones, I'm just going to use 1.5 of these eggplants. These are almost double the length of a medium eggplant. So I'm going to cut it into 2 to 3 inch segments. And then I'm going to cut each segment into 4 to 6 pieces. So I'll cut it in half, and then each half I'm going to cut into 2 pieces or 3 pieces. Okay, so I finished cutting that up. I'm going to cut that other half of an eggplant. Okay, so we're going to deep fry the eggplant. So I got a wok half filled with oil. It's on high heat. It's been on high heat for about 5 minutes. So to test the temperature of the oil, I'll take a wooden chopstick and I'll dip it in the oil. And if bubbles come up, then it's hot enough to deep fry. So don't use a metal chopstick or a plastic chopstick. It won't work. It has to be a wooden chopstick. Okay, so I'm going to put half of the eggplant in. I'm going to do 2 batches. So I'm going to deep fry the eggplant until it turns golden brown. You don't want to take it out too soon. You don't want it to be a little too pale when you take it out, and you don't want it to be too dark either. So like that color right now is perfect. That's like a golden brown. So yeah, that's a perfect time to take out the eggplant. So I got a plate sitting behind the wok with a couple paper towels on it. So I'm going to place the eggplant on the paper towel so it drains the excess oil. Then I'm going to put the rest of the eggplant in the oil. Okay, so that's been cooking for a few minutes. So that's also golden brown, so I'm going to take them out. Okay, so I saved the oil to use for deep frying next time in the wok. So I washed the wok, it's on high heat. I added 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. I'm going to add the garlic now. So I'm going to stir fry the garlic for maybe 20-30 seconds. Garlic burns quite easily in hot oil, so you don't want to cook it for too long. Then I have a Chinese fermented shrimp paste. I'm going to add that to the garlic and oil as well and stir fry that paste for a bit. It's good to add that paste before you add the water to make the sauce. So that's the Chinese fermented shrimp paste. It's kind of like a gray color. So I'm going to add a tablespoon into the wok. I'm going to mash it and mix it in with the garlic. Yeah, so I'm going to stir fry it for maybe 10-15 seconds, and then you can add the water. So you want to bring that to a boil, and then you can add the other sauces into the water. Okay, so it's come to a boil. I'm going to add a tablespoon of oyster sauce. I'm going to add a tablespoon of soy sauce. I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar. And a teaspoon of chicken powder. Okay, so I'm going to make the cornstarch slurry now. So I'm going to take a heaping tablespoon of cornstarch, put into a bowl. Then I'm going to add a quarter cup of water to that. You want to stir that, make sure that the cornstarch is well dissolved in the water. Okay, you want to add that cornstarch slurry into the sauce. Stir that, bring it to a boil. Yeah, you need to stir the cornstarch slurry as soon as it's added to the sauce. Otherwise, it will clump up and form little globs. Okay, so once the sauce is thickened, we're going to add the eggplant. You give that a stir, make sure that the eggplants are well coated in the sauce. So yeah, this is a kind of a family recipe for me. I love eating eggplant with fermented shrimp paste. It really has that nice contrasting flavor. The kind of mildness of the eggplant with a kind of fermented cheesy taste of the fermented shrimp. Okay, so it's done. I'm gonna plate it up now. Okay, there you have it. That's Chinese eggplant with fermented shrimp paste and garlic. Bon appetit!